Games Radio Network broadcast of allgames.com.
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody though.
What's up, guys? Yomar here, aka YogiZilla. I just have a real quick call to action today. If you want to support the Geeky Answers Network, it's a really simple thing you could do. We give you a few links, and all you gotta do is click on them, share them, like them. You do all the social media stuff. Ideally, buy something, but it's not required of you. Of course, this is just a way to help our sponsors out and help us pay our bills. And we just humbly ask that you share these links as much as you can. No pressure, no pressure. But we would greatly appreciate it. I mean, we get it. Lots of people don't have money these days. Disposable income, what is that? So donating is not always a thing. But clicking links and sharing stuff on social media, I think everybody could do that. So the links are very simple. They all start with geekyantics.net/whatever, right? So one is geekyantics.net/shiny The other one is geekyantics.net/weddings. And then we have geekyantics.net/Martin Septic. And if you just share those and tell some friends, check them out, see what's out over there. And if you like what you see, definitely spread the word. I'm sure you know at least 5 people that might be at least mildly interested. And we'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys.
Welcome, geeks, gamers, ninjas, robots, girls, guys, whoever else listens to the show. It's HorsePLAY Live. Today is Thursday, June 2nd, 2016, episode 129, entitled Mobile Gaming and Digital Cracks. We didn't say crack. We're talking about cracks to get into games. Don't get dirty on me. But before we get into this episode, we have somebody back. He was on cell phone last time. Still had a decent show, weird show. But he's back. The man behind the scenes, the one and the only YogiZilla. What's up, dude?
Hey, you know what? That audio quality was not too bad, actually. It was pretty good.
So you like me running that levelator through the show?
Overall, it sounded good. I mean, I still do my own post-production stuff, but it was pretty serviceable the way it was. I mean, honestly, the audio quality sounded comparable to most podcasts that I listen to. Because I know I have a lot of podcasts that I listen to. I mean, that's really the main thing I keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
And because this is a wonderful way to, like, escape. You know, maybe if I'm trying to take a nap, I'll listen to some podcasts till I pass out. Or I listen to podcasts while I'm working. This is a great thing I can work into my schedule, into my workflow, or whatever I'm doing, my routines. You know, working out, you know, that doesn't happen too often. But if I do, you know, podcasts. But, yeah, I mean, it sounded great. You know, the way you made it sound, I thought it was going to be terrible. But, no, that was the headset that I had for my phone.
Wait, the way I made it... Wait, hold on. No, I didn't
Because you were like, no, you said, just wait till you listen to it. And I'm like...
No, I wasn't saying it was that bad. I mean, like I said, I was still running the levelator through. Like the levelator was live with the podcast, so whenever voice came out, it automatically leveled it.
Albie, we gotta use the proper term. You weren't using levelator because levelator is his own app. You were using a compressor, a dynamic compressor.
I was using a leveler. Basically, I'm not gonna tell you what I was using because then but it's out.
Yeah, a DSP or a compression software,
Yeah,
on-the-fly
okay.
compression.
Sorry, guys. I wasn't using a levelator, the program. I was using a levelator or a leveler, if you want to get. So we don't use the app name. Oh no! But I was using that through it, so it actually made everything to where you could use it. I mean,
No, Levelator ain't bad. Levelator is actually really good.
I use that for every podcast that I send you.
Yeah, for most people it's great. I don't use that anymore. On most podcasts, I do manual post production, like compression, to get it just right. Because sometimes like Levelator will just try to assume what you want for like your mid range and just try to like raise the low ends and then lower the high ends, so you don't have as many peaks and you don't have a lot of whispers. So it's kind of in the middle, but it doesn't always do a good job of figuring out what the threshold is and what like the noise floor is. So sometimes you have to manually do that.
Right. And dude, have you been having problems with actually highlighting chat and actually making it work with OBS?
I haven't done too much chat in my streams. I mean, I don't stream much, because of wonderful Comcast.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, I don't know what it is, but if somebody knows how to fix this, this is
I
like
saw that. I saw that in the video from last week. You should have put a picture there or something. It looked really naked in that corner.
I know it does, but I just don't know what to, like, I don't want to sit there and put something and then all of a sudden it I don't know.
You should have put like a picture of Overwatch or something in that little corner.
Yeah.
Put the infamous Tracer victory pose, which we'll talk about that. I don't know, that's been the hubbub for a few weeks, but I still want to talk about it. We didn't really get to talk about it on this show, and I think it's just such a silly thing. But we'll get into that later, hopefully.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been MIA because my internet went out, and then the shit hit the fan, and this has been bad news, and I finally got to a point. So, I'm gonna unplug, keep to myself. Cause I was just in a really shit mood. I didn't want to bring anyone else down. I was like angry, depressed, and just drained. And I didn't want to bring that into our community. So I kept to myself. Took care of some work, and it's like, so, of course, whenever that kind of stuff always happens when I'm needed the most. Like I have so many emails I have to reply to, and a bunch of people are interested in joining our network, and it's just really bad timing. And now it's like I'm just so overwhelmed I don't even know where to start, and I'm just gonna take it day by day, and we'll see what happens from there. That's it. But on a lighter note, this is our first show of June, so that's cool.
It is.
Our first official show. Well, Gaming Dev technically, but they don't stream to our channel, so.
My birthday is in 19 days. I just wanted to put that out there.
Just you know what, the B team syndicates on our network too. Your birthday on June 21st? That's right. Your birthday is a few days after my mother's birthday.
First day of summer, and then my son's birthday is June 24th.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Bet
you how I got freaking gypped out on a present for my 30th birthday. It had to be, you got a son for your birthday. What? Come on.
Lol.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay.
That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, I want to put this out here. Wingman from this Xbox Live podcast has been desperately looking for people to play Battleborn with.
Good luck.
Because I like what they're talking about on their show. They're talking about how Overwatch and Battleborn is not an either-or proposition. And while I agree, sadly, that's not the way it turns out. Because as great as Battleborn is, and he made a great argument for it with like how you have the co-op, single-player content, and it plays differently for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Not many of us. It's not even so much an affordability thing in terms of money. It's do we have the time? So it's like to have two kind of games like that where you could really put a lot of time in if you really get competitive. I don't know. I say, and I know we've been beating the dead horse, but Battleborn and Overwatch are both fantastic, but it's just a hard proposition when you have full price games. But anyway, I forget what his gamer tag is. If you listen to this Xbox Live, it's the episode for who was it? Last week. I think they do it every Sunday. Or is it Sunday or Monday? I forget now. I think they go live on their Twitch channel Monday at 10 p.m. So I want to say it's their May 30th episode. May 30th, May 29th episode. Give it a listen. If I can sort out the money situation, I'll probably end up getting Battleborn, but I'm out for now.
For those that are live in chat and wondering what the Obi is doing and putting, I'm actually doing. I'm gonna put victory poses, in in the chat box, so you guys will see the big buff about. And I'm gonna put another. You guys will see it here in a minute. It's not just. How do I say this? It's not just Tracer. Because there's a lot of poses that Tracer's doing that is a lot more dirtier than that victory pose.
Alright, so I guess we gotta get into it now then. So the thing about it that's stupid is basically the vocal minority, not the vocal majority, the vocal minority complained. I think it started with a parent saying that his or her daughter, I think it's her daughter, it was a woman that wrote in to Blizzard. She said that her daughter's 8 years old and she plays Overwatch and she really likes Tracer and she sees her as a strong female, a good role model for her. But the victory pose isn't poor taste because it doesn't match what she's about. And I'm looking at this, and we've been keeping track of Overwatch for a while, before it came out.
Dude,
we haven't been talking about it much. We've been too Blizzard heavy, and we kind of peeled back on that a little bit. Cause we used to talk all about Heroes of the Storm and Hearthstone and anything Blizzard, World of Warcraft. But the thing is that pose is nothing.
Right. I'm gonna put another one in the slideshow with it, but I'm gonna show you and I'm gonna let you know exactly what I'm looking at. Cause I'm sorry, Tracer's not a friendly little girl. Okay. Just saying. Because
it's not even that. Compared to the other victory poses, hers is like one of the tamest.
But look at this next picture when you actually see it on the stream. I mean, or whenever whatever. It's her hugging Black Widow.
There's a lot of fan art out there too, so be careful. Like Overwatch, the moment it went into alpha, like the computer animations, like computer rendered animations, and the hentai art and commissioned artwork, is just through the roof. Like the amount of like Overwatch porn there is out there. But Tracer is like the least provocative. Like she doesn't even have a booty. Like she has, typical like white girl booty. It's not bad, but it's not
typical.
Like in your face.
Okay, typical white girl booty. That what you? I'm just gonna clarify.
I'm Latino. I can say that. If you're Latino, black, you could judge like that. I'm kidding. No, but seriously. The thing is like, Widowmaker is worse. Like her booty's like in your face. What is it? Sinatra? I forget her name. Symmetra.
Mm-hmm.
The one that puts the turrets down. No one really seems to play her, but she's not bad. I think they tweak her a little bit though. But like she's bootylicious, and I don't know. It's just stupid that people feel so entitled that they're gonna complain about stupid stuff like this when there's like sort of social justice warrior bullshit again. Like people need to pick and choose their battles. Like life's too short to be like fighting about every little thing. That's part of the reason I've just kind of been also drained too. Is just like stuff like that. Like there's too much drama, too much BS, and after a while you're just like so mentally, spiritually, physically drained. You're just like, I need to take a little break, slow down to speed back up. That's kind of where I'm at. But it's just I'm at that point where I see stupid stuff like that, and it just sickens me. Like it just makes me just disappointed for mankind. Like I almost feel like a giant meteor should hit our planet and just put us all out of our misery. I know that's really morbid, but that's the kind of mood I've been in. Like what? Like there's just too many stupid self-righteous people that are just they lack compassion, hypocrites, like you know. And I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but like right now I'm just like, you know what, this world is fucked up. Just let it end already.
Okay, that's wow.
Yep. I know. My feel-good message of the night. You're welcome.
Now that everybody's physically and emotionally drained from that tirade and that we're gonna call it the draining that you just performed.
That's my OB on the podium moment.
I guess so. So
no, it's just, but I'm thinking that I'm not just reacting to the Tracer thing. It's just it's the mindset that drives it, right?
Right.
Like everybody feels like their opinion is important, the most important. You know, they don't care about how it impacts other people. You know, Blizzard had to spend development time reworking the victory pose to one that isn't that different, and it's arguably more provocative, if anything. But whatever.
Well, I just don't understand that you have a lot more characters in there besides Tracer that is actually, for the good, like Mercy. Dude, I've seen Mercy's victory poses. They're fairly provocative too, especially when she's in her devil skin. Come on, man.
Yeah, and the thing is,
it's a freaking video game.
The thing is, too, that's all perspective, right? So, like, it depends what mood you're in, where you come from, how you were raised, right? So, like, it's like anything else in life. Like, if something bad happens to you, you're in a bad mood, you're just gonna be like, that's my luck, or I'm cursed, or I'm just having a bad day, rather than saying, if you're in a good mindset, you'll be like, this will just make me stronger, or this is an opportunity. Or this is a test, and I'm going to pass it, and something better is around the corner. Same thing with this kind of situation. If you're a pervert, you're going to look at the victory pose and be like, fap. If you're a little kid and you still have innocence, which this day and age is something that's hard to come by, sadly. All
right, hold on. I got to stop you right there, because being a little kid doesn't matter. Because my 4-year-old son seen all these girls in these tight pants showing their asses, and he goes, "Ooh, look at her butt."
What's I'm saying? The age of innocence is gone. Like before, you wouldn't expect that, but like, kids are exposed to far worse things.
And it's not me or my wife saying, "Ooh, look at her ass," because we don't do that around him. That's just him figuring it out on his own.
Yeah.
I mean, kids are going to do that regardless. So regardless of what pose, animational characters are, and I'm going to say this again, just make sure I have the right word, animational characters, okay? Characters that are animated. I mean, they're thought up and they're drawn. Of course, they're going to draw all the women in this game with a nice butt. Of course. If there's a character that has big boobs, you know they're going to accentuate the positives, right? But they're trying to sell the game. My wife just said it. They're trying to sell the game. Guess what sells, ladies and gentlemen? Sex.
But Tracer is a real, if all the characters, she's the least offensive. I feel like she's kind of flat.
Diva is. Diva's not that offensive, but she's got a freaking big butt and big boobs. I mean, it's what people are gonna see. The character, the developers are gonna.
Diva's a firm B cup. Tracer's like an A cup, and she's maybe like size 28, 26 booty. She's like a 22, 24, 22.
Are you really guessing her dimensions? I mean,
she's just out of whack.
I mean,
obviously her waist is small. She's like a size 20 waist. But you know what I'm saying? Like, she's not like badunk-a-dunk. Like, there's no hourglass thing going on. She's kind of just like me. She's a plank, but she's cute. But like, it's not. There's games that are far worse when it comes to like exaggerating. Like remember the big thing they made about Street Fighter? They had to tone back Street Fighter because like. The proportions were insane. Like, look at Chun-Li's thighs now. Her thighs are as big as her freaking torso.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree
She
with
got
you
the
on
big
that one,
thighs.
dude.
You know, how many Chinese, and no offense, but how many Chinese women do you know that are bootylicious like that? Not very often. It's just certain cultures are more predisposed to certain figures, a apple bottom or onion booty or hourglass figure or a banana shape or whatever you want to call it.
You just said onion booty.
Yeah, I'm just saying, there's different body types, and
Was that one of those that's it's like a blooming onion, so pretty it makes you cry? Is that the one we're talking about?
Tracer's a pear at best.
Dude,
Not much going on up top.
Tracer is just like I've said about any other character in these game. Here, let me reiterate this again. Games. It's a female that people thought up and saying, okay, she's gonna be really fast, so she's gonna have to be really skinny. Well, hey, let's give her like some workout spandex pants, and of course she's gonna have a nice ass because we're guys. We're making this video game, duh. Let's give her some goggles, and she's gonna be fast, remember? So she's gotta be skinny, and let's give her a nice little rack, and give her some little catchphrases. Hey, you know what? Let's use an accent from a British accent to give her, or whatever I don't. Hey,
Because I'm more Australian to me for some reason.
Okay, I was going to say that, but I didn't want to offend anybody. But any kind of accent, let's give her this accent and just make her look really hot and sexy. This is going to sell the game. So when somebody says, oh my God, she's so provocative, she's showing her, wagging her ass around. Okay, every other character does that too. I played Black Widow on the regular. I played Diva on the regular. I know exactly what they do. I know how their victory poses are. They're all fucking dirty, man. Even Mercy, the angel, right? The healer. That's all she can do is heal. Even she has some dirty ass poses. Come on.
She gives good foot jobs too, apparently.
Good foot job. What?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's like the rabbit hole. If you go down that rabbit hole, holy crap, people spend a lot of time getting the details right. I mean, some of these guys should probably be working for Blizzard. They got the artwork on point.
Dude,
I thought there was also for World of Warcraft. The stuff's already rivaling WoW, and WoW's much older.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, WoW's over 10 years old, and there's already almost as much Overwatch porn. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna lie, it is crazy. I'm not. It's just, but it's something that people are gonna do anyway. Just because. Why not make a funny picture or make something that people can actually be like, ooh, she is really hot. Or, damn, that's what somebody thought of. And, guys are guys, dude. They're going to think of like, oh, if I, hey, we'll draw it with a little bit plumpier nipples, and then we'll give her a little bit,
Plumpier nipples, I like that.
We'll give her a few little divots in the middle of her shirt, so then the guys that are looking at that will say, oh, that's her nipples, or something about. Yes, exactly, in that creepy voice, exactly. But it's something that they're doing it because they know it's going to sell. That's it. That's all they do this for. They could have made any other chick, or they could have made Tracer a little bit, had a big ass nose, and she has the whatever British or Australia. I think she's more British in my eyes, but have some big ears or something. She's still gonna be hot because she's got a nice ass and a rack. That's it. But she's a cartoon.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, this is a work of fiction. And I think Overwatch is really good about having a very diverse representation of different types of people.
Hentai anime is a work of fiction.
Yeah. But, the whole
There
point
you go.
is, but at the end of the day, most people go to fiction to escape from reality. They don't want to be reminded of the ugly side or the sad side of things. Like, usually that's the case. Why would we go live life again in our escapism? That is silly. But I think the bigger issue here is that people have to draw the line. I forgot there's a similar situation where people complaining about a game, and the developers were like, "Get over it." Like, they actually stood their ground, and that's good. Because you know what? They know they're gonna have an audience regardless. Like you can't,
Well, you're
give
not
in
gonna
to
be
that
able to.
pressure.
You're not gonna be able to appease everybody.
You can't.
If you
By the way,
try,
Tim Curtis says hello, and he says he loves bootylicious Asians.
bootylicious Asians, check. Make sure that we okay.
I think he's
yeah.
I think he's
Really.
escaping from work briefly. He says work's been beating him up a little bit, but he says hello. He specifically said, "Tell Obi hello for me." I guess that also assumes everybody else that's listening or watching.
You know what? I don't know if I believe that or not.
Look,
I'm just gonna go.
I'll post it in chat. I'm gonna post it right in the chat.
Yeah,
in our
that
main
doesn't really
chat.
tell me much, man.
See? There you go. Anyway, the big thing there, we move on, I think, is that you gotta draw a line somewhere because everybody can be offended by anything. Like if someone's eating if a girl's eating a banana, she just happens to be attractive. She's eating the banana, and maybe she's just really enjoying the banana. Someone will read into it and be like, she's really enjoying that banana, and that's a phallic. I'm offended by this. You have to change that. Okay, well, do you have the money for us to redo this video, this commercial? They're like, well, no. Well, shut the fuck up then.
Well, everybody's gonna find something wrong with something.
Yeah, exactly.
Always.
And
If I'm there, I will find it will be me. But if it's somebody else, I mean, oh my God, she is supposed to be a holy person. And I'm gonna use Mercy again, okay? She is supposed to be a holy person. She's a healer. She's a bringer of life, and she's got nipples. That needs to be changed.
I think it's a good public service that she's got nipples, because there's a lot of freaks out there that don't have any nipples. Like they have imploded nipples, or they have little tiny, like smaller than a dime nipple, and that's kind of weird.
You're not going with me on this. It went right over the top of your head, dude. Never mind.
No, I'm just taking it to a different direction. Anyway, I was just thinking about nipple types. Can't let a brother live.
No, go ahead, live. By all means, live it out.
No, the moment's gone.
No.
It's gone. So anyway, Obi, what do we have tonight on the show?
Guys, tonight on the show, we're going to discuss the future of gaming, particularly Nintendo and mobile gaming. And on the road to going to E3, which is coming up here soon, there'll be more there'll be more TV talk, of course. But we're going to be going ham on some video games because right now we're kind of in between seasons. So we're getting started with the new seasons that are coming out and kind of making sure, because we're going to talk about it, guys. I think you have 1 week left to catch up on your past winter seasons of all the shows that we watch. Because then we're going to have a spoiler show. And we're going to spoil everything. Just because.
Everything.
We'll also talk about the latest movie viewings and the movies coming out that we've seen that are just awesome. By the way, we gotta find a new bit for this, really. By the way, guys, if you're new to the show, welcome to our seriously fucked up party.
Woo!
Yeah, HorsePLAY Live is where geeks come to play 9 times out of 10 get in trouble. Well, no, we always get in trouble, just don't tell our wives. We're the flagship talk radio show for Geeky Antics Network in collaboration with AllGames.com. Our show covers all the aspects of geek culture with a special focus on indie and strategy games, technologies, rants, issues geeks face, and of course community events we try to put on or even, just be a part of. Did I mention? Yeah, I said it. We rant a lot. As you guys can see in the first 15 minutes of the show, Yogi went off. So those will come up at all times sometimes. So we even get up. I talk about a little tabletop and retro gaming and food. We end up on food somehow, way, shape, or another, so we're going to talk about it. Even as little as, oh, dude, I had some really good whatever. But yeah.
Some really good whatever.
There's a place in Chicago. It's where you can get tacos. They're really, really good tacos. And I want to go there to get some. I mean, they're like big, like tortillas, and then they got giant stacks of meat in them. And I have to figure the name. It's one of the Optic Gaming House. The owner Hector goes to all the time. But anyway, Yogi, tell us a little bit more about the show.
Yeah, we're a live and uncut show. We do the show live, late nights, and because of that, we're in particularly interesting moods, inebriated, frustrated, and/or I don't know, tired, hungry, all of the above. So creative things may happen, and we may say something offensive. So keep an open mind and have fun. After all, this is horseplay, and shenanigans are abound.
And really, if we say something that offends you too much, that means you're new. And that means just don't worry about it. We'll offend you a lot. Just kidding.
Well, that means you're one of those crazy people that starts an internet war over something stupid like a victory pose. Yeah. In which case, get a hobby.
Don't forget, guys, HorsePLAY Live is every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific, at 4 a.m. GMT across the pond. Twitch channels Geeky Antics and YogiZilla. HorsePLAY replay is also available earlier on Thursdays, about 5 p.m. Eastern Time on allgames.com. 5 minutes of your time, muted, not muted, don't care. It's up to you. Give us a little shout out, guys. Get up there on All Games.
Word.
Since we had a Yogi on the pody earlier in the show, we're gonna go right into some news. Wow, that's some really cool news. You ready, dude?
Oh yeah, you just noticed all that?
Yeah, you ready? And now it's time for the obligatory news and rants. Ding.
You know, I'm reading more about this, about the developments of the whole Tracer Overwatch thing. And there's still people talking about it, reporting this.
Mm-hmm.
So some last minute news. There's a butt slap move in Street Fighter, but Capcom actually decided to remove that. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. Little last minute thing. You know, but it wasn't someone complaining and bringing about the poop. We'll put that in there. Butt slap. Anyway. So yeah, Stan Lee has officially announced that he's going to retire this year after the 2016 New York Comic Con. And an anonymous source quoted him saying something to the effect of him saying that, you know, life has its phases, you know, and right now he's at a point where, he's in a different phase, and he admits that he actually isn't having fun right now as an author and screenwriter. It's time to move on. I mean, the man is in his 90s. It's impressive that he's still pushing on the way he has. He still has the spunk that he does.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary, but, it's morbid, but people have Deadpools going like, well, how long does he have now? So that'd be very sad when that happens, because the man is a legend. And yeah, Stan Lee will still do cameos, I'm sure, in the Marvel movies. Kind of his thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Ninja Turtles movie hype here in the chat. BFT and Tiger Claw both going to see on Saturday. BFT is also going to see X-Men Apocalypse afterwards. I am excited about that. They actually introduced a new character I was reading in X-Men Apocalypse. That'd be cool. I really hope that Fox expands upon that universe, because there's so many interesting characters in the X-Men universe and just great backstories, and I don't feel he's done it justice, but we'll see. BFT says, I thought he was just a face these days anyways. He's actually still be doing some production work and some behind-the-scenes stuff, but I think he mainly means he's going to be retiring from the convention circuit. I think that's what it really means. And from everything I've been reading, press releases and different things in the feed and different news sites and fan sites, it seems like he's saying he's just gonna. It's very vague, but it seems like he's gonna retire from the convention circuit. So this upcoming Comic-Con is probably the last time you're gonna be able to see the man himself in the flesh. I'm just kind of scared because maybe that's like him saying I don't have that much time left.
He's like, motherfuckers, I'm about to die, so get me now while you still got me.
Yeah, that's, that'd be sad. I mean, it's not like we know him personally, but still, it'd be the end of an era. Oh, Claw said he saw X-Men Apocalypse last week. Yeah, the Quicksilver scene, though. That Quicksilver scene, though.
Shut your mouth.
He says that BFT said that Stanley's gonna run off with Betty White to some tropical island.
Wow. That'd be kind of kinky, actually. Not that I would like to visualize that. Great. What else we got in the news?
So, in case you missed it, E3 is coming up. We haven't talked about it much because I don't think we're going to be covering it. Usually we try to put some articles up on the website and we try to do special shows. We may do it, but if you do want to catch that extra coverage, we will be doing some stuff over on allgames.com. Some of us in the Geeky Answers community will be getting involved as well and doing some live coverage or some post-conference, post-presser wrap-ups. So there'll be mainly reactions and some more like predictions and kind of just trying to figure out where they're heading into it. So the thing about E3, I like it. It's important, but the problem is it's not really for the fans. It's not even for the gamers. It's not even for the game developers, really. I feel like it's mainly for the investors and the marketing people. It's not really like a true fan event. Like, it's more like, hey, we got this stuff in the pipeline, so there's money coming. And for the fans, it's like, okay, but what does that really mean? BFT says... $5 says Stan breaks the hip first. $3 says more. It says he keeps going. Yeah, the man's a beast. Yeah, I don't even know how. I don't think I could. I don't think I'll make it to 50, let alone 90. So I don't know how the man does it. And again, I'm being morbid than that. I'm sorry.
So does your wife know that you don't plan on living past 50? Just curious.
I tell her all the time. Especially when she's stressing me out. It's like I tell her,
you gonna kill me, woman.
I'm like, I'm going through a lot right now, honey. Can you make this a week where you don't nag about stupid stuff? Nope, don't stop her.
Dude,
I'm like, don't
react. Don't answer that. What's wrong with you?
But that's the point I'm at. I'm like, look, I got so much shit to deal with. It's like parlay. It's like pirate parlay rules, It's like mercy rules. It's like, look, I'm beaten down to the ground. I'm a bloody pope. I request mercy. Nope, not getting it. Damn it! Where is your honor? There's rules to engagement. Damn it. Anywho, anyway, these
not
are,
marriage. There's not.
Yeah, that's true.
Marriage has no rules of engagement. You just try not to do it.
But
and if you do, make sure she hits you first.
Try not to do it. What? Try not to get married?
That's fucked up.
That's the way you said it. I'm like, that's a very open-ended statement, OB.
Well, if that's how you take it, then sure.
But all right. So anyway,
I'm happy as shit being married. So.
Yeah, I mean, it has its ups and its downs. You take the good with the bad. So like anything else, right? My blood pressure goes up, but I eat good, so it's a good trade-off. Anyway, well, we had some delicious food. She cooked these stuffed chicken breasts with she put like a pesto sauce and like pepperoni and like cheese and stuff. Oh, it's delicious.
Maybe she's fattening you up.
I know.
So then you can't leave. Physically, you can't run away.
Well, I already said that if when I do pass away, everybody's gonna outlive me. I really decided this is how my narrative plays out. I said, you guys, if you guys ever get hungry, feel free to freeze me and eat me little by little. I could probably last a year or two if you keep me frozen. You gotta survive, man. I understand. My ghost, I'll be looking at it as a ghost, and I won't shake my head. I'll be like, I understand. I got a lot of good portions. I'd eat myself if I had to. Obi's
That's what
like,
she said.
Obi's. Hold on, Blue is trying to get into the man cave. Why don't you share the schedule of the press conferences? I'll be right back.
The pressers are as follows, guys. EA press conference is going to be June 12th at about 1 p.m. Bethesda press conference is going to be June 12th at 7 p.m. Microsoft press conference June 13th at 9:30 a.m. Ubisoft press conference is going to be June 13th at 1 p.m. And then, of course, the two more here. Sony press conference is going to be June 13th at 6 p.m. And then Nintendo press conference is going to be the 14th at 9 a.m. So if you guys want to, here's a link for you guys to, look up more stuff. I'm just kidding, guys.
Official site E3Expo.com.
Yeah, I was just messing. But you guys can go check that out and check out for anything you want. They got tickets. They got where you can get stuff and get ready for it too. So,
you know what saddens me about about E3?
What
is that it could be a much bigger thing. Like, it's the same few names every year. These are like the juggernauts of the industry. But why? I see no reason why there shouldn't be a Sega or a Capcom or Konami up there. These companies have so many properties that they could work or license out, and for the most part they're collecting dust, and it makes me so sad. Like, the industry's consolidated so much, and I feel like it needs to be more expansive to a degree. Not too much, because we saw what happened in the 80s with the video game crash, but the industry crash. But I don't know.
I really think
the market can support it.
I really think that when it comes to cons and like E3 and BlizzCon and
what is the Expo?
Expo. I really don't like those big.
Say,
it's not something that I'm gonna be because you gotta think about, like, E3 has that big auditorium where they're releasing the big games and they're doing stuff. And of course they have that another auditorium where you can play the games, and then they have all this other. It's still a con. Just we'll get that straight. But it's for all intents and purposes it's E3 Expo, but it's E3 Con. that's what I'm calling it. But for me, I'm gonna probably not hit up those big cons, just because there's so much going on. There's so many people that you have to wait 5-6 hours in a line just to get one thing. Well, I would rather go to some of the littler stuff,
right,
and be a face there, and then have to, and then if once a year we go to PAX East or PAX or whatever, we go to a really big one, but like the one like we went to last year. Down there in Georgia. There's another one in North Carolina. There's another one in D.C. this year.
There's a few down here, Obi. There's Southern Fried Gaming Expo is down here in Georgia, and Walker Stalker Con. There's a few of them actually that come out my neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, but there's there's like there's like 4 of them up here in Michigan too.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them out there too. The thing is, like, it's not just a word. An expo. You have expos and trade shows. Those are more industry events, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not really for the fans, the actual aficionados, the people that are passionate about this. It's more for the suits. And then, to me, a convention is more for the fans, right? Though there are lots of conventions that are more purely about merchandising and, bullshit.
But you got to think about it, too. At an expo like this, I know there are so many streamers that I know of that are going to E3, that are going to this. Just because you can get, yes, it's an expo, it's where you can get your name out there if you meet the right people and, talk to the right people, blah, blah, blah. But it's something that they're trying to make it to where, and this is where I really don't agree with it, they're trying to make it to where more gamers come out to these things, even though it's for the suits type. But they're trying to make it to where more gamers come out, because then that's another chance that more gamers are going to come out and spend money.
Yeah.
Which they're trying to do appease both, but if you got too many gamers in there, no suits in their right world are gonna sit there and walk in with, 10,000 gamers, and and I'm gonna say it, geeks, nerds, whatever, but they're not gonna walk out there going, oh my god, especially if they're a big company head, like they're somebody like a Microsoft suit, or something like that, like they're gonna get swamped.
Yeah, and you don't have access in these events. They're not very good for networking. PAX is probably better for that, though. PAX has gotten bigger itself.
But PAX is moving into the suits. They're moving into that portion, which is making it bigger. Which is now PAX is just way too big. I mean, you're looking at the PAX East is in Boston, right? You're looking at the stadium. The stadium was maxed out, and they still needed more room.
I mean, those venues could get expensive.
If you're renting out the whole stadium, and then on top of that, some of your parking lots have to be taken because they need to set up more tents because of that many more people. Dude, yes, it's gonna get pricey, but venues are not gonna start. They're gonna say, "You guys got too many people." I'm gonna have to say no. Unless they're paying them more than they should.
And yeah, with PAX, like BFT's saying, as well, something I was gonna mention is it depends which PAX you go to. Like, I wouldn't go to East or Prime because I prefer, PAX South or something more intimate, so that there's actually opportunity to connect with people.
And that's what I'm talking about. To where I don't want to go to these packed ones. I'm looking to go to some of those smaller ones so that I can actually meet people and actually have a conversation without, turning my head, and then I make a full circle and they're gone already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it gets crazy. Living in Northeast, New York City for so long, and I went to all those big events. I even went to some in San Diego, and they're huge. But to me, it's not especially now. I'm just so. I'm curmudgeon. It's the old age finally rearing its head. It's like I don't have the patience to be around a bunch of stinky, sweaty people, elbow to elbow. That's like going to a club. To me, going to a club is probably one of the least appealing things in my life at this point. I did that. I had my little party days, but now if I look back at it, man, right now, if I went to a nightclub, I'd kill people. All the bumping and
I can say not a nightclub. There's no way in hell. But I just went to a bar that we used to go to with my wife for her birthday last weekend, and it wasn't that bad. I mean, everybody knew who I was, but it wasn't really. I mean, it wasn't really that busy, I guess, which was thankful for. I think a busy bar is just, and I'm not drinking at all. I'm totally sober. I'm drinking water and Mountain Dew. And to hear some of these people just go off and just, oh, it's so fun.
Yeah. I like a good bar. It's funny how your taste changed. I used to go to little trendy bars and dress up all nice. Now I'm shirt and jeans, dive bar. That's my scene. Thank you.
Truna in the house.
I know. What's up, Truna?
Don't know if it still works. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So it still works.
It does work.
The Dix command is still a thing. But I think the questions that really loom, and a lot of people, I listen to This Xbox Live, Gamer Tag Radio, Gaming Death Podcast, We the Gamers Podcast. I mean, there's so many gaming shows. B Team Podcast, of course, R9 Cast, and everybody's kind of asking the same things what is Microsoft going to do to kind of overshadow all this, what I feel is needless VR hype, but it's still something they have to kind of answer, and I think there might very well be, as much as it's a fad, a passing fad, I think they're going to have to at least have some kind of formal game plan and partnership, maybe with Oculus or something like that, to kind of meet that need. Though VR to me is still very much a niche thing. Now, and then and Nintendo, the only thing they have lined up is Zelda gameplay. So I don't know. They're gonna have to really step things up. And Druna asked if we're playing Overwatch. Yes, we're playing on Xbox One. Kind of cut back on my PC gaming at least.
Well,
I need to upgrade.
Comes to find out that a part of the MLG that Blizzard bought into. This Overwatch, and I've been getting really heavy into the esports scene of a lot of different games, and Overwatch is going to be a esport.
Oh yeah.
Right now, if you guys haven't seen him, go check him out. He doesn't need this at all, and I'm gonna let you guys know why when you go check him out. But go check out Josh OG. He's probably streaming right now. Probably don't go now, but go check him out. He's got the $25,000 OG Invitational for Overwatch coming out, where people can get in and yeah, it's gonna be really cool. But MLG is taking Overwatch over. It's going to be the new game, especially on PC.
Yeah, it's totally designed from the ground up to be a good esports game. It's very watchable.
Well, yeah, especially with like the camera work that they can do.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got that epic kind of vibe to it. I think the only thing with it is that it's the only problem. Well, we'll get into this later. If we're gonna hopefully we'll have enough time.
We're gonna finish the news up, guys, real quick.
So so there's Nintendo rumors. They've been going on and off. People saying that the next system's gonna be a mobile, handheld, home-based hybrid system. So, and I think it's interesting because the mobile space is something that we don't really get to talk about much, and I think we need to pay attention because it's really not going anywhere. It's only getting bigger. And it's also kind of interesting because no one's jumping into the handheld market because smartphones really are it, like smartphones and tablets. So it's kind of sad because there's something to be said about dedicated hardware. Like I love all the stuff that's available on smartphone, but it's still nice to have dedicated hardware. And I think right now Nintendo dominates that, and I think it's smart play. No one's actually trying to jump into that. Look what happened to the Vita. Like, who actually has a Vita, and of all the other people who have a Vita, who actually uses it?
True.
So, BFT recommends Chronicles, RuneScape Legends, free-to-play CCG with a twist. That sounds familiar. Did you recommend that before? He knows exactly what kind of games I like. The last game he recommended was what was it called? What was that tactics game that you recommended before a few weeks ago, BFT? I have to play more of that. I have it on my computer. Oh, I can't think of what it's called. It might be of the area, but I can't think of what it is. Duelist. There you go. Thank you. I need to play more. There's just so many games right now. It's crazy. This past week, I haven't been doing that much gaming at all. But anyway, back to the rumors for Nintendo. One of the few rumors that actually substantiated though is the whole cartridge thing because their partner Macronix, I believe is how you pronounce it. They're the ones they actually produced the cartridges for the DS, the 3DS line, and they cited in their investor presentations, the quarterly reports that they're expecting large growth potential. I forgot the exact wordage, but they're really expecting a boom. They're very confident, very, very confident about a boom going into 2017. Increased production, increased profit kind of thing. So clearly there's already a deal in place that's going to require cartridges. And obviously it's got to involve Nintendo to some degree. Another thing that's interesting too about the cartridge direction is, Nintendo has historically not liked load times. They don't like long load times in their games. And they are also really good about compression. We've kind of gotten used to just accepting that an installation of a game will be 20 to 60 gigabytes. Which, if you're not paying for your bandwidth is great, but if you're paying for your bandwidth, fuck you, Comcast, it sucks. So So on Nintendo's like Nintendo games on at least on the 3DS max out at 8 GB. That's how much the cartridges support. Now that's compressed, and their game they have a compression. I know last time I looked at it back in like 2010, their compression technology they licensed a process compression software from this company called S3TC, and it's 6x compression. Now back to 2010, so they may be up to 10x by now. So like that theoretically, if they could get if Macronix is talking about increasing capacity and production, right? And then Nintendo already has this compression technology. That means maybe they can finally keep up and have high definition games. And I want to shout out our pals over at the podcast, Nintendo Dads and If We Ran Nintendo. These guys are really passionate about Nintendo, and they're probably one of the few people left that actually still care about Nintendo. Because I hate to say it, Nintendo makes great games, but they have a long way to go to be a direct competitor. Right now, they cannot and will not compete with Sony or Microsoft, and this is a few reasons for it. They aren't addressing online gaming. They aren't really getting into mature games. Like they keep tiptoeing in there, and they have really no third-party support. Without those things, they're irrelevant for people that have to make a decision. Well, I can get this or that, and a lot of people that have pretty much everybody I know that has a Wii U also has an Xbox or a PlayStation 4. So there's no coincidence. You can't have a dedicated Nintendo. Nintendo can't be your only console. It just can't.
Yeah, it's not. When we had it, unfortunately, ours we used it so much. Like
the Wii U?
Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay.
No. Just the Wii. Like we used it so much that we broke it. Like it doesn't work anymore. We went to get the Wii U and we're like, let's wait. Because now it's something to the point where I'm thinking about getting something totally different for him. I don't know if I want to spend that money for the Wii U when it's probably gonna fucking break just like the Wii did. Because I don't really care. Like it's something like the Wii is something that we can do as a family.
Yeah,
like, we can get into our living room. We can all sit in front of the sensor. We can all, we can play the, we can play a golf game, or we can play tennis, or we can play, even Mario. But it's just something like I'm not really gonna get a Nintendo to play online because, like you said, I have an Xbox One. Here in about a month, I'm gonna have a PS4. So it's like, it's not me. It's later. But it's something that it's like I'm not gonna get the Nintendo. I'm gonna get it for my family enjoyment more than because Xbox just doesn't give me that because you still have to know how to use a controller. And again, my son's only 4. We don't want him to be so hyped on video games that he doesn't think about anything else.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's to that point where he's growing up to where during the summertime he only gets 2 hours a day on his Kindle. Why? Yeah, we could let him just play whatever, but then he doesn't want to go outside. He wants to sit there and watch TV. He doesn't want to run. He does. I mean, it's like 80 degrees out. He doesn't want to go out. Get your butt up and let's. It's stuff like that. That's what I'm worried about because I don't want him to be the fat slow kid in school that can't run. No offense, but I was that kid. So I mean, I don't want him to be that way. I want him to have to where he can keep up with the rest of the kids because, hey, I'll spit it out right now. The reason I was made fun of in not preschool, but in lower grades and in grade school is because yes, I was the slow fat kid. I was. The slow fat kid kind of grew up and got some speed to him, and then I was liked because I played football and I baseball and I wrestled and I did all this other stuff jock style. But it's something that I don't want him to be like that, so I have to work that way. Anyway.
Yeah, and you make a good point because the whole thing about Nintendo is I think they're still really good about creating that on the couch experience, that family oriented experience, and that's great. But that's why they could definitely stay as that and dominate that niche. But until they go beyond that, they can't be a direct competitor for the big players right now in the video game industry.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing you have to look at is like look at this. What do they call that segment? Toys to life. You know, these when you buy a toy and then it converts. It has like a dual purpose. Like you can put it in a game or use it on a website or whatever, and interact with it in some way. Like the Amiibos or Disney Infinity, Lego Dimension, Skylanders, all that kind of stuff. Which, by the way, Disney already said, when I say after the next few sets, we're done. There's not going to be Disney Infinity 4.0. Originally, that was the first announcement. There was going to be a Disney Infinity 4.0. Not necessarily they're not gonna do the toys anymore. Period. They even went further. I found out that news is actually bigger than people have been reporting it. They said that they're jumping out of the video game market, like as far as like first like in-house stuff. So they might license out properties, but I don't think they're gonna be doing anything official anymore. That's kind of weird. I guess they feel they only have to focus on movies and TV. I don't know. That's odd. Like video games is such a big thing for them to just ignore like that. Like I understand what they meant.
I think because if they think about it, and you can, there's so many things that you could do. Say if you're still gonna have your games made, but you're gonna outsource them. So then you're saving money on this and this and this. But they might be releasing some people, taking the business in a different direction, but still tapping into that market. And if they can make it the game made and sold for, 25% of what they did before, that they're still making 50% at least of money. So they're still making money on top of whatever they're doing. They're just not working for it. I kind of see what they're doing. They're going to outsource games, of course. Yeah, they're going to let PlayStation make this game. Maybe do an exclusive thing. That means PlayStation's about to pay them bank.
Yeah, I think it'll be more of a licensing thing. Like
yeah, it's who has the money to buy us? Okay.
Yeah. They'll sell out individual.
We're a big old fat hoe, and we just need to be banged. Whoever does it, bring it. That was a really bad one, but
it works.
It did. It's not really, but yeah.
So yeah, apparently like Disney Infinity was struggling. Because people were saying that everywhere you went, the storage shelves were fully stocked, but still, like people were saying it was a better game than Skylanders. The thing is, they didn't make enough deals. Like the starter kit for that for the longest was what, 100 and change. That's too much money.
129, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like, I don't know. It's too much like to jump in. You gotta get people hooked. Make it easy for them to jump in, then make each individual thing more.
Right. I feel bad for the people that actually got hooked into it and bought all these different little figurines. Invested, lots of money.
But it's still collectibles. They're still collectibles.
Yeah, but still, goddamn, dude. Like, for it to just say, no, we're not doing it anymore. For you guys that have it, that's it.
But see, I think what's important here is like Nintendo, I think, has relied a long time on. They say it's innovation, but it's more gimmicks. And I still feel like Nintendo leans more towards being a toy company rather than an entertainment company. And there's a big difference. I feel there's a very big difference in how that's marketed.
Well, that's what they are, though. I mean, think about it.
Right, and that's the thing. Like Amiibos was like the past couple of years, Amiibos has been the big thing. But as far as like video games, new franchises or bringing back old franchises, like people have been asking for a new Metroid game forever. Why can't they bring back Metroid and make that a mature game? Bring in a wider audience. I'd play the shit out of that.
Yeah.
They got Bayonetta exclusively from Sega. Bayonetta is a fantastic thing for them. Like they got to start. Not just doing those one-off things. They need to have a full. They need to go in all in and just have a full strategy. So we'll see what happens. They need to make some big changes, man. Because it's like they think it's still the '80s, man. Like the fact you can't ignore social media, you can't ignore online gaming, and you can't do it alone. You need the third-party support. Just absolutely need it. Like, I don't care how much you love Mario and Zelda. I mean, I love those games. I'm not gonna buy a console just to play them. No, it's too much of a thing to. I can't justify that. You know, I'm a cheap bastard. I'm also broke, so there you go. By the way, some deals with cheap bastards real quick. Actually, one deal that was brought up: Rainbow Six Siege. There's now a starter edition on Steam. That's $14.99. It gives you what two? BF2 was saying it gives you 2 random operators for free, and some other goodies. All modes are unlocked. 2 entry-level operators unlocked for free, plus 600 Rainbow Six credits to unlock 2 more operators of your choice. That's pretty dope.
I have all the operators already. I don't have the 25,000 one.
Yeah, those are expensive. A lot of grinding. But this is a nice thing for people on PC, you know?
Dude, I tested it. I tested it, and I went and did a, the renown booster.
Yeah.
And
I wasted one the other day.
I have another one. If you play, I know this is going to be a lot, but if you play for right around 10 hours of that booster, which is just match after, going match after match after match, do about 100 matches or so, you'll have 25,000 with that booster, where you actually have more. I had 0, and I have 33,000 right now.
You need to do multiplayer more than.
That's all I do is multiplayer.
Yeah, because terrorist doesn't give you as much. It gives you more reliably, but multiplayer gives you a lot more.
No, you do multiplayer because then everybody wants to do good and win because we're getting buffed. We're getting boosted. Everybody's getting boosted in the group.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I get 50% more, and
stacks.
everybody else gets 10. So.
And if other people have boosters in your party, everybody else gets a boost, and they all stack. It's crazy.
Then it goes to 50-50, 20-20-20. Then or 30% or something like that, to where like if 3 people out of the 5 people have a booster, everybody's getting 50%. It's crazy, but yeah. We'll start once you got things under control there. We'll get on and we'll play some more of that.
Word. Well, BFT says the downside to the start edition that the other operators require a lot more renown to unlock. But that's a good model, though. I think it's a good deal. So it's a quick shout out, and then we're gonna get into WWBP, WWBW. And if you don't know what that is, you'll find out in a second. But quick shout outs to Tangent Bound Network, Nerdy Bartender, Ghostman and Demon Hunter, 365 Flicks Podcast, all our friends over at allgames.com, and of course the Geeky Antics community, the gang, hashtag the gang. That's all I got. Of course, go check out our sponsors. Geeky Antics.net for our sponsors. We got a Facebook page, which is also Geeky Antics. We're Geeky Antics everywhere. I'm Yogizilla everywhere. And Obi is Obi1X2 everywhere. And he also had this other weird
sorta
thing. Yeah, now he's got TSC Obi1 and PPE Obi1.
Shut your mouth. Now, guys, for some more shout outs.
Triple H.
Shut the hell. First, don't forget to help us out and support us on one of our oldest podcast networks, allgames.com, around 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. GMT. Just kind of go give us like 10. I think it's like 10 minutes. Literally, you can have us muted. You can have it in the background while you do something else. If you're an Xbox player, it's really freaking easy. Just get on your, even if you're playing off your PC or doing whatever, you can still listen to it on Xbox too. I found out that. Now for some shout outs and loves from our friends, podcasters, streamers, supporters, and wonderful geeks we call hashtag the gang. Ghostman and Demon Hunter Podcast, 365 Podcast, Tangent Bound Podcast, Social Dozen, Nintendo Dads, If We Ran Nintendo, We're Alive, AM Audio Media, Tad Pod, the B Team Podcast, Chris Gannon, the Gaming Death Podcast, Elder Scrolls Off the Record, All Games Radio Network, 42 Level 1, Gods of Mayhem, Gaming and Ganja, I Be Loud, Atari 2600, Game by Game, Two Dudes in an NES, the Retro League, We're the Opponent, Retro Junkies Network, Tangent Bound Network, which I've said twice now, Musings of a Geek.
Is they in there twice? Snap.
Blood Pods Network, Hotscast, Stormcast, R9Cast with SG, Bridget, ZombieCast, Knuckleballer Radio with Sean Freeman, Normie, of course, Cupcake Envy, Cupcake Noms, Daruna Roar, exclamation point Dix, Morgana Freya, BFT 9000, Blades, which is now TS at TSE Blades, Lord Ractals, Beard and Hat, Rob the Blind Rider Kinglet, Spathyzilla, and of course, Murgalicious and a lovely Renee Bones. We appreciate you guys more than you know. Thank you.
All right, so we got to do our obligatory WWBP and WWDBW, and hopefully we'll get into the video game talk. Let's go through it real quick. I know we got some TV and film stuff to talk about. Quick on TV stuff. I started a new show, and
Captain America was awesome.
Yeah, we'll get to that. All right, first of all, the show that everybody's watching, Game of Thrones. Not much to say about that, other than, the mother is back. Fire! That's all I'm saying. That doesn't make much sense, but some it will.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, it's not very specific. But Penny Dreadful is the new show I started. And like I said, I've just kind of been in my own little world, just trying to unplug a little bit and refresh my, recharge my battery. I've just been So I just kind of need to escape a little bit. And this has been a good show. It's a very heavy show, though. If you don't like sometimes if you watch stuff like Daredevil, American Horror Story, Game of Thrones, they're so dark and gritty. They're really heavy shows that for some people they could mentally wear on you. I have a pretty strong stomach, and Penny Dreadful, the only time it really got to me was there was some animal cruelty involved. I mean, it was all obviously fake, but just the thought of it was okay. And it involved a cat too, so I was like, no. But fiction, so I get over it. But
as he's in the corner going, Blue, Blue.
I know, that's my baby.
And Blue's looking at him going, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
No, she's very attuned to my feelings because I've been just in such a rut and just blah. And she'll come to me and be extra affectionate, and she doesn't meow as much. On the show she does. It's like she wants to be part of the podcast, but usually she's actually really quiet. She doesn't purr that much. She doesn't meow that much. She's actually really quiet. I've known much more vocal cats, but lately she's just been coming to me and going meow meow. What? Her litter is clean. She has food, but she just calls for my attention, and then she just started loving on me. I'm like, okay. So that's the thing. I love dogs, but I feel cats, they have a better sense of stuff where dogs are kind of herp.
I love my dog, but she's dumb as shit.
Yeah, dogs they're always affectionate. It's
and all you have to do is go, hi, baby.
Yeah, exactly. What's this? Oh, look at you, little doggy. And then why you get a tail or a little nub?
And then all of a sudden, if you get mad at him, you're like, Sadie, and she'll stop wagging her tail, okay, you busted me, can you say something? And I go, it's okay, baby girl. And she'll come wagging and about knock everything over as she's running by.
Yeah. This was really a bad one. They got the short, whippy tails.
And she's got one that's, probably about a foot long or so, 9 inches long.
Whippy.
And it just beats the hell out of you if you're standing next to it.
Yep, she wags it back
that
side
shit
to
hurts.
side. Yeah, I know.
She hit the wall the other day, and it boom, 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 boom. I'm like, God damn, what is
that? Dogs are fun in their own way for sure.
All right, Captain America.
Captain America. So I told you my thoughts about Captain America and Batman vs Superman. What did you think about Captain America? Did you watch Batman, by the way?
I started to, but then I fell asleep.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then
I don't know.
Yeah, so I can watch that tonight, but a little late, but we can. I've seen most of it. I just got to rewatch it because I don't remember it.
Oh, one thing I say about Batman v Superman is that it's not as bad as people said it was. In fact, I would say that it's better than Captain America: Civil War in some aspects. And I'm a huge Marvel fan, so that's saying something. So, all right, quick thoughts on Captain America.
And what side do I pick?
Yeah, whose side were you on? Iron Man or Captain America? Spoilers! Oh no.
Both. I can't really decide because both of them. Because like at the end, when Iron Man kind of helped a brother out, and then able him to get away, and then just I don't know. Like, he's on the side of justice, like, I gotta bring you in. But at the end, he was like, well, maybe not. Maybe you weren't the bad guy after all. And I don't know. I loved the movie. It was freaking awesome.
I need to watch it again. Maybe we'll table the discussion if you really want to go deep on it.
Well, if you have that one thing, if you have that
one thing.
If you have that app, we can watch it at the same time or something, and just kind of, I don't care. I'm gonna watch it again too. Like,
yeah, we'll plan something.
I usually sit in bed I sleep in a chair, but I usually sit in my chair before I go to sleep, and it's on my chest, and I watch a movie.
Yep.
But I don't know.
My thing about it is, it was weird. Like, granted, when I first watched it, the first time I watched it didn't really count because I kind of like skipped around a little bit. I passed out in the middle of different parts. Then I watched it again. I was still tired, and I zoned out at certain parts. And like, the movie's long. What is it, like 2.5 hours or so?
2 hours and like 19 minutes or something like that.
Still, like, it's a lengthy movie. But at the same time, it felt kind of anticlimactic and kind of, I don't know, it felt kind of short for what it was. I don't know, it's something weird about it. Like, I didn't really believe, like, why they had their conflict and the things escalated it so quickly. I don't know, something about it didn't really, like, I get that they both had the points, and I get that, the pressure from the outside was really escalated things.
Well, it was something to the point of, like, it got to the everything got to the point where the humans finally figured out that, you're not really helping us. I mean, you're destroying more of our city than saving it sometimes. And then they reference back to the previous movie with the Avengers and stuff like that. And I just, like I said, I'd have to watch it again too, because like some of it I'm drawing a blank on right now. But it was one of those things where I watched it while I was going to sleep, so I might have missed a part or two, but I'm still going to watch it over. But I can't really agree with anybody on this point. The only thing that I know is I'm still trying to figure out why they broke up in the first place.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like
I know Iron Man's a cocky son of a bitch, but that's why he's part of the team. Like they've come to accept that from him, and now he's chasing him down with who is it, Liberty Bird or whatever the fuck his name is.
Falcon.
Yeah, Falcon, Liberty Bird.
Liberty Bird, I like that.
But him and now Falcon are now hunting these guys down because they're on the side of the law. Which that means the police was pressuring him to do this because he's in now he's in kind of a face area to where he has to show face and help out because that's what he does. And it's just I don't know, it just all of it was really, really fast. Everything happened. This is one of those movies where you got to watch 3 or 4 times just to catch everything.
Yeah,
it's like an X-Men movie, dude. X-Men, I had to watch it at least 3 times before I see the whole movie. Don't know why.
Yeah, that's maybe that's what it is. It's the pacing. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's the best Marvel movie yet. I think it's great. They haven't had a stinker yet, for sure. Ever since they did the new MCU stuff, but I don't know, like people are saying it's like the best Marvel movie, yeah, the best MCU installment. I'm like, no, I can't agree with that.
Right. Well,
I'll give it another chance, but it's not
BFT.
up there.
I want you to do something for me. I was watching some stuff like was it Larry King live, and I was watching some of his guests. It's on YouTube, but I was watching some of his guests, and I was watching then when he had the Stephen Amell guest appearance for the second time. Let me know when you go watch Turtles. Let me know how Amell's performance is, because he's actually Jack. Who's the guy on the
Casey
Turtles?
Jones.
He's actually Casey Jones. Let me know how he actually does that part. Just because, I mean, I'm a big Arrow fan, of course, you know that, but let me know how he does. Just text me or something. What a few people I can say on the podcast. Just throw me a text, man.
I like ML. It's interesting, though. You don't see too much TV to movie crossover because it's a different kind of discipline for some reason. Like, good TV acting doesn't translate well to movies sometimes.
Well, and he said that in his interview, too. He said Stephen Amell said that in his interview too with Larry King. He goes, he actually likes doing movies more than the TV because they're running out of time, dude.
Oh yeah, that show's.
I mean, that show is gonna die. It's gonna have maybe a season or two max, right? But he said that he really enjoys making the movie because when you're on a show like that, and you're guaranteeing 42 episodes, or you're guaranteeing. They've gone 92 now, but you're guaranteeing that season worth of episodes. You actually have to work every single day. When you're doing a movie, you have time to prep. You have time to make everything perfect. You have time to give the performance of your life. Yeah. So, like when he goes, when he had time to do that, and he had actually time to actually be a part of that and actually do the movie. He's awesome. He'd rather do movies if he has the chance to do more. Which, every actor's like, hey, I hope I get another job.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, Arrow doesn't have much story left anyway, the way they've been going, I don't think.
And the way he's actually carried Arrow and actually, worked the plot into, and then expanding it into God damn, I can't brain farts. Where he's actually expanded from the Arrow, now it's the Flash, and now you have some of the other DC Legends of Tomorrow, and it's actually expanded from Arrow, right? Because Arrow's like the parent to all these other. Was it Agent Carter was one of them too? If I'm not mistaken.
Agent Carter was a Shield spinoff.
Okay, that's my bad. But something, even with I had brain farts anyway. Even with just like Flash and how he's progressing. But the only thing that I don't agree with is if the Flash and Arrow is doing something, they're like right next to each other, aren't they? They're like twin cities, right? Like they're like an hour away. Like seriously, like how does the Flash not know, that homeboy was that Dark was gonna go blow a whole bunch of nukes? Why didn't he come help?
I know.
With
Supergirl,
it did not mesh whatsoever.
With Supergirl, they already have a way out. They said that Supergirl exists in the Earth 3 dimension. And the reason the Flash had a crossover because he accidentally crossed over to there. And I have a suspicion that crossover we saw in Supergirl takes place after the season finale. Because you know how, the Flash ended up. Everybody, well, not everybody, but he kind of goes on his little vision quest sort of thing. Like, I got to go on a journey. So I think
he actually went and spent some time with the Speed Force?
Yeah, so I think he's just exploring other worlds and just trying to find himself that way. So.
Well, I think what they're doing with, are we?
And at least that's what I read, that Supergirl doesn't take place in the same dimension. I could be wrong, but I heard that from lots of like hardcore comic fans. Like they were saying that, and I think a lot of it's speculation. But I don't see how that she could exist in the same world as Flash and Arrow do. Because they're Earth 1, and then Earth 2 is the one where Zoom came from.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
So now they're saying it's Earth 3?
Oh, BFT says the Flash crossover happened a few episodes before the Speed Force episode. Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah.
That whole thing seemed out of place to me. Like, he's like, how did I get here? And it seemed a little awkward. Like, it wasn't really mentioned on Flash. That's interesting.
I wish they would have. I wish they would have actually, instead of just like a scene, it was more of, actually getting being able to talk to her and actually seeing what's like. They didn't talk to her.
Well, he had a full
happened?
episode pretty much on If you watch Supergirl, he actually had real interaction with her. Like he gave her advice. Like he gave her a pep talk.
Then why did Jesus?
But he looked really lost. Like he never traveled between dimensions, and he was kind of like just emotionally. So like that, it seems weird. All right, so BFT says that there was a moment when Barry was running and he popped into a portal. Then he came out a few seconds later. Oh, and he asked Cisco and Caitlin how long it was gone. Okay, I do recall that actually. Okay, interesting. But he never mentions it to them. Like,
they need to, if they're gonna bring that out, if they're gonna do it, they need to do it, which is I think it's a pretty good move. But if they're gonna do it, they need to do it now. If they're gonna start flirting with this, and all of a sudden if they drop this, we're like, oh, that dimension never happened. That's gonna piss so many people off. My God.
The thing about it is if Supergirl and Superman exist in the same world as Flash and Arrow, it's like an easy fix to everything, right? So I guess they want to avoid that. It's like, well, we wrote us into a corner. Let's call upon Superman and Supergirl. So that's why they're going about it this way. There's still ways around that, but I guess it's a decent way to deal with it. Like, okay, they have their own thing, and traveling between dimensions is kind of rough, and it has repercussions. So no, so we'll see where it goes. I think it's we saw how complicated it is for the MCU. We'll see how DC handles it. But we gotta move on though. We still got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We only have a half hour left.
Yep.
Yeah. So I started to watch Sinister's 2. With Sinister, I'd say is still one of my favorite modern horrors. So I want to finish this. I haven't got a chance to because I keep falling asleep during things. But I like the way it starts off. That's a seriously creepy movie. BFT said with Supergirl coming to CW in season 3, looking like it's going heavy on the Flashpoint paradox, the whole world could get revamped. Season 3 of the Flash. Yeah, that's what I was hearing. So there's potential there.
Succotash.
Obi, did you catch the season finale of Supernatural?
No.
Okay, so we'll move on.
Go ahead. I don't watch that show.
Oh man, if you're not into it, I'm not talking about. All I'm gonna say about Supernatural is, I know they have at least one more season left, but I wonder how much longer they could go. Because now that we're learning more about the Men of Letters, like they kind of abandoned that to a bit. Now we're seeing there's more to it than they thought, which I was saying for the longest, like there's got to be more chapters to the Men of Letters. So, good season finale. Predictable, I would say. I think most of us saw it going that direction. But now what are they going to do? And, they're always trying to dig themselves out of a hole that they dug themselves. Like, they freaking defeat one evil and unleash something even worse. So, I don't know how they could trump the darkness, like the precursor to everything, a force as strong as God himself. So we'll see. So I wanted to talk about Overwatch and talk about mobile gaming and also what we've been playing. But since we don't have that much time, let's do our quickie, Obi, and we'll see if we get some Overwatch talk. And now we'll talk about Overwatch next week. I mean, overall, you're still enjoying Overwatch, right?
I am.
And the hype is really, really strong. Would you say like the hype is still strong with Overwatch?
It is. Like I was saying, there's multiple things going on over on the PC side. With console, the hype is still there, but not as many people are like, I'm good. I can see now. I am I gonna get it on PC? Probably for the esports aspect of it, but I'm not gonna. I mean, the hype's still there, from what I think, but I've been wrong before.
I mean, the interesting thing about Overwatch is that, again, we talked about like how it's been often compared to Battleborn, and they're not really similar games. And you can enjoy them both, but it seems like Overwatch has won more hearts than Battleborn, sadly. So we'll see what happens. We will see. I think the hype is still strong. It's right now like every time I poke into Twitch, it's like the third most streamed game under Dota 2, which is the number one now because of the internationals going on, I guess, and League of Legends. So I think it's gonna stick around. I mean, Paragon has got a lot of buzz, but Blizzard is just a stronger company than Epic. But I think Paragon's gonna have like a nice niche audience.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't know if I mentioned it last week about the open beta. They should be having more of those. Stay tuned. We might have some keys for people for the closed beta coming up, and keep you posted on that. Cause Paragon getting some lot of love too.
Definitely,
All right, Obi.
definitely.
Bring us in.
Quickie.
It's been a while.
Why, yes, it has. Thank you.
So yeah, we're rediscovering mobile games, the good and the what the fuck. And Obi, I know you're not much for mobile gaming, so we'll try to make this quick.
I played more than you think.
Yeah, but not as reliably. I know from how little you respond on Madden and mobile.
Yeah, I'm gonna just leave the team, dude, because I don't want to piss anybody off. But I'm just not really. I've got other things in my brain right now, man.
Yeah. You're not a big mobile gamer, and it's fine. It's a specific kind of.
Yeah, you can tell him to drop me, or if he wants me, I'll back.
No, just you just stand. I'm just it's fine. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm not even playing as much right now either.
Well, like I'm not even playing Madden in general lately.
But so I want to talk about a few games that are amongst my favorites. And kind of talk about some of the general things that happen in the mobile space. Because I think the problem with mobile is that most mobile games are free to play. And there's free to play and then there's not so much. The problem a lot of free to play games suffer from is that they don't respect your time and they have paywalls. And if they don't have paywalls, they're pay to win. So yeah, you could play this game without spending a single money, but if you're doing competitive, you have to spend money to win. So we'll talk about some of the games that I've been playing for a while. I came back to a game called Fantastica, which I want to say I started this game 4 years ago when it came out, and they just celebrated their 4th anniversary. And the main reason I came into it is because I saw that it was a game inspired. It looked like a lot of Final Fantasy. Come to find out that it actually has Final Fantasy artists that do the character design. And the game looks beautiful. It's a tower defense, TCG tactics game. It's crazy. And it's one of the few mobile games that actually involves some level of skill. Like, it's not just click, 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 click. A lot of mobile games, all it is like, click, 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 come back in an hour and your thing will be recharged, right? And then not much to it. It's just cookie clicker, you know? Like right now, like my family is really into Singing Monsters, or my Singing Monsters is the full name. My wife loves this game, and she's like, "Oh, this is the best game out there." I'm like, "I wouldn't call it a game, honey," and she's like, "Why not?" Because there's no first of all, there's no fail state. So it's automatically, if you can't lose, then you can't win. So it can't be a game, in my opinion. Some people will argue otherwise. It's an experience. And I told her also there's no real skill involved. It's all up. The only skill you need is resource management and knowing how to click on things and which combinations to do to breed things, which you can pick up very quickly. And after that, the only way you could be better than someone else is spending real money or spending lots of time on that game, which to me is a terrible model. Because to me, like my singing monster is cool. Like it's really cool because each monster you breed or buy sings a different part of the song, and when you put them together, you can zoom in and zoom out. You can have them do solo, and they each put together, like they each do a piece of the track, like they do a track of the song, and it all comes together. And it's crazy the way they do it. It's pretty brilliant in that aspect. But it doesn't compel me enough to like spend the time, put the time in. Like, you know, I'm constantly getting nagged. My wife is like, "Oh, why haven't you fed your monster today on our tribal island?" And why aren't you building more of this? And how much gold are you making? That's it? And I'm like, yeah, I don't really play this game that much. Like I play it 2 or 3 times a day, and that's it. She's logging in like once every hour at times. You know, like she's hardcore about it. Like, no, it's not that interesting to me. So you know, it's kind of interesting with mobile games. Like there's a thing, there's a concept in game design, and it's mainly a gamification / game mechanics concept where the theory is that theme is separate from replayability. Basically, even though theme is part of the experience, it's not part of the core experience. What they're saying is that theme will draw you in. It's the hook. You know, it's kind of like a good narrative hook, right? In a story, in a book or whatever, or a movie, but it's not the thing that keeps you in it. I disagree because I think the theme also keeps you in there when the gameplay gets repetitive or you're annoyed with other aspects of the experience. You know, a good experience, my singing monster is a good example of that. I find the gameplay kind of annoying, but I like the concept. Like, oh, these are cute monsters and they sing, and it's kind of therapeutic in that aspect. But the actual gameplay mechanics are kind of meh. There's a game called Kill Shot Bravo. This game looks beautiful. For like you wouldn't, I think you wouldn't really expect this on a mobile game. It's like an FPS game, right? Mm-hmm. And the main thing is you have a few modes, but the main mode is sniping and then breaching. And when you breach, you have to it's just like the little Max Payne style slow down, and you gotta kill people quickly before they can react. And then the sniping mode, you just snipe people, and you try to be stealthy so they don't attack back, right? The theme of that I think really appeals to people, so that there's people that actually do the PvP on that. If it was like if you switch that theme, kept the same mechanics and switched it out and said, oh well, you're not shooting bullets, you're throwing flowers at bunnies, I reckon people wouldn't be as interested in it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think theme is a lot more important than game designers want to admit. Not just to draw people in, but to keep them hooked in. Like I'm playing Sonic Dash 2, Sonic Boom. I'm a huge Sonic fan. I'll admit I'm a huge Sega fanboy, and this is actually a really good Sonic game. But it's also not very unique. It's Temple Run with Sonic characters. He said, throwing flowers at bunnies? Take my money. That's the next Kickstarter. Someone's going to steal that and not give us credit. But Sonic Dash... Obi, did you ever get into the Temple Run? I think we mentioned it before.
No, not that much.
I feel like we had this conversation.
Yeah.
Obi?
We have.
I think Obi stepped away. But Sonic Dash 2...
sorry. Yeah, we've had this. I don't have... No, never got into it.
You played, didn't your son play the Minions game?
Oh, yeah.
This is Sonic Boom is that, but with a lot more depth to it. Like, it has unlockables and, of course, the Sonic characters. And you can build a team, and the different players on your team given different passive abilities. It's pretty neat, actually. I'm surprised how much fun it is. And it's a game... This is a good example of a good mobile game. Because you could play it for as long as you want or as little as you want. It respects your time. You know, it's not like there's not all these paywalls and all these stupid invisible ceilings. Like, oh, are you enjoying this? Well, you know, you gotta freaking pay this much to get more energy. BFT said there's no depth. There's depth for the scope of what it is. It's a racing game, right? But you know, there's not only so much you could do with a racing game. So you can unlock characters, there's challenges, and then you have events. Like the events are boss battles, or you have to destroy this many things within a certain period of time. You know, so in terms of that, there's depth, but like, you know, depth is a relative term. So like, if your game is, all right, I'm an RTS game, then you know, or let's say you're an Astro's game. Astro's may not be a deep game in itself, or compared to modern games, but if you compare it to other like classic games, it's pretty deep and it has a lot of modes you could do. BFT says, why the biggest square pay us money to ignore that death. That's true. I think that's fine to pay for revives. That's a fine way to monetize. You know, because it's not PvP. PvP in the game is not really a big thing in there. It's more PvE. The boss battles are laughable. I don't know. See, I must be getting old because I found some of the battles. What I've done so far, they were challenging enough. I thought about Sonic Dash 2, not the old Sonic Dash. But then again, I'm usually playing when I'm distracted or smoking or whatever. But you know, for what it is, I find it charming. I think it's a fun game, and I would go back to it. But it's something where I don't feel guilty that I'm not playing it. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go back to it because I want to go back to it, not because I'm like, oh man, if I don't go on here, I'm gonna miss out on something. I'm gonna lose something that I paid for, or some item that I have that expires, or some stupid thing like that. You know what I mean, Obi?
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Glad you're with me. Another game that I like is Yu-Gi-Oh! Bam Pocket. It's not a full Yu-Gi-Oh! Online, which makes me sad. But I like that. I think there's a good groundwork here. You know, take a game and streamline it to like its bare mechanics, its bare minimum. You know, and just the core experience, and just have it more fun, fast paced, and it works. Again, it's another game that I love the franchise. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I love going back to it, but I don't feel like I have to go back to it. So in that manner, it respects my time, and I enjoy it, and it's just a nice little escape. It doesn't feel like a job.
Right.
The biggest game I'm going to talk about before I move on is Fantastica. All right, so I mentioned it earlier. There's a lot of good things going on in this game. But the problem with it, like a lot of mobile games, is that it is pay to win, and there's a lot of PvP in this game. But ultimately, you know, it's one of those things where, all right, if you don't have money or you don't have potions or time elixirs or whatever, you gotta wait for your energy bar to fill up before you can attack again, or whatever you're doing in a particular event. Usually, it comes out to attacking or defending. You know, the PvP events usually are like the last one they had. You had these titans attacking your base, and if you didn't defend against them, they would destroy your base defenses and lower the level of your base. And the lower the level of your base, the less effective your skills became for your whole team or the people in your guild or your clan. So it's an interesting mechanic. But what it came down to is, if you're focusing on defense, you're spending more potions. They're spending more time defending, and you don't get as much time to attack. So the people that are spending money, so they keep refilling their energy bar and keep attacking and defending like as much as they want, as fast as they can click, basically, they have an advantage. So like very little skill, which is a shame because Fantastica is a game that I would highly recommend because it's such a unique game. Beautiful artwork. If you like Final Fantasy, especially Final Fantasy Tactics, or you like tower defense games, you know, this game always has something to do, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. You can easily lose tons of time in the game, or you know, if you're disciplined enough, you can just say, all right, I'm gonna play this event, but I'm gonna skip the next couple of events because, you know, who has that kind of time to, this game literally has an event after an event after an event, and then like no break in between. And so that there's 2 or 3 events running side by side with each other. Like, they just did one where typically a team size is small. Like, you can deploy 4 to 5 units on any given scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one they did is called Legion. In that gameplay mode, in that event, you can have up to 15 units at once, and you have these massive battles, and it's crazy. And you have raid bosses and all this crazy stuff, and other players have to help you out because the bosses have so much HP, you can't beat them by yourself. So that's really great concepts, but then at the end of the day, people will see that it's a cash grab because, they try to throw all these like offers at you, like, oh, this is a 3,000 Fanta point pack, but now you can get it for 500 Fanta points, and basically every 100 points is $1. They did this thing called a one-shot pack where you can get one card and it's a guaranteed 10-star. It was 10,000 Fanta points. That's $100 worth of points for one card. Like, this game is one of those things that people spending, like, I know there's people in this game that spend 300 or more per event. And it's crazy. I mean, it's scary. Like, you could spend that kind of money in a mobile game, but this is kind of the direction of things. It's also worth noting that Mobige, the people that did Rage of Bahamut, and Defender of Texas, both of which are now defunct, but used to be like the most downloaded and most played games, like bigger than Clash of Clans at one point. They're behind this. I don't think Fantastica is going to go anywhere though, because the Final Fantasy art style, and they constantly have new characters coming out. Like, the hype is always strong. It's a very active community. Like, there's people that do auctions, like, and you could trade your stuff. So there's a lot of stuff to keep you busy in it. I recommend it. But, the mobile space, I just think it's interesting because you don't really see handheld gaming anymore. Like, that's kind of becoming more and more a thing of the past, and now it's all about, like, your phone is your, like, home base, and everything's on your phone. And I don't know, I feel like we lost some of the magic, but at the same time, the stuff that they're doing on these smartphones is crazy. I mean, are there any mobile games that have stuck out to you besides, like, what we've discussed before, like Hearthstone and Gems of War?
Not really. I mean, I'm not really a mobile person. I mean, I have a couple, like, games that I play, like, on my Kindle and stuff, kind of chilling. But that's like drag racing or something that I can just kind of pick up and race a couple races, get a couple upgrades for my car, and then let it go. I don't have to. It's basically it goes by the points thing, but basically where I'm at now, like, I'm not gonna run out of. I can play as long as I want to. I'm not gonna ever run out of points until I get way up there in level, and by that time, I'll be tired of the game anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, mobile space, like, I don't really commute or travel that much anymore, so the mobile games, like, when I'm resting my back and laying down and getting ready to take a nap on the can or out back on the patio or having a smoke, whatever, that's my mobile time. Or when, like the past week when I just kind of need to unplug and just be alone with my thoughts and just kind of escape for a little bit and not deal with any drama or BS.
Right. Well, mostly with my mobile time, I'm on that. I'm on the Kindle on that app. Like, I'm watching movies like crazy.
Yeah.
And because all I have to do is just start them. And once I get ready to do something, I can just stop them, just shut down the app, and then as soon as I open the app again, it'll start right back up. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't really do much of that gaming. I just don't have time, I guess.
Oh, no, I hear you. And it depends, like, what your routine is, But there's, like, a lot of quality out there. There's a lot of games I decide not to install because I know that I'll end up getting hooked into it. Like I just started playing a game called Seven Nights, and
You better stop that.
that game is pretty cool. Like a lot of people are talking about Dragon Blaze and what was the other one? Xanatia. They're all very similar. It's like they're role-playing games, and you build a party, and you get loot drops. But if it's not enough of a loot drop to be significant, and the other thing is, for the most part, the problem with Dragon Blaze is that it's automatic battles. At least with Seven Nights, you can actually control the battle, and it's like a turn-based system, kind of like classic Final Fantasy JRPG stuff. But it looks really good. Like the when you do special moves, like you're summoning demons from hell and breaking the ground with a giant sword, and like it's really well animated. Like everything's like epic and large scale. It's really cool. And those games are pretty good with balancing the monetization and the free to play aspects. The problem with it is that, like with Dragon Blade, there's just too much going on. Like it's a really loud, busy interface, not really good for new user experience. It's a forced tutorial, and I hate that. And it's just so much bullshit you have to go through before you can finally feel like you have control of the experience and can customize things. So like I feel like with a lot of games, you're just along for the ride, and that's a big problem. Like I feel like in order for it to sink its teeth into me at least, I feel like there needs to be some level of customization, like some degree where you just feel like there's a piece of you and you actually have some control and there's some skill involved. Like if it's all RNG, it's all luck based, then that's not a fun experience to me. There needs to be some level of skill. It needs to be more skill than anything else, I feel like. I don't know, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
But we'll move on. I know you're not big into mobile gaming. Those are some of my recommendations, and that's actually really what I've been doing is doing the mobile games. Of course, still playing Hearthstone. Oh, a big one that I forgot to talk about is King of Thieves. That actually, I think, would be a good game for your son to play. I know you're trying to keep him from getting too hooked on the games, but the cool thing about this game, and you could probably help him with some parts, is that it's just one button. Really, is all you just click. You just tap, and that's it. The whole thing about it is it's a platforming game, kind of like Super Meat Boy or N+. And you just gotta get around obstacle courses. And then when you go through them, you can steal other players' gold or gems. And it's really neat because there's PvE and PvP in there, and there's some crafting involved, and it's a fun game, man. And I think this is one of the better examples of what mobile gaming should be. Like, they make you offers, they have the ads, but they're not forcing it down your throat. They do a lot of this is a limited time offer. If you click out of this, you won't get it again. High pressure sales, I get it, but you don't have to spend money on this game at all. Maybe the exception would be if you really want to be like that high tier competition. But right now I'm in a guild, and at the bracket we're in, we're like super competitive, and we're not spending a single dime. And I play the game very casually. I'm in the top 3 in my guild, so I think it's a good example of what mobile games should be. I'll check it out, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. Like I said, it's not the mobile scene is just not for me. I'm glad there are some, like there are some racing games I can play, but mostly I'm on social media anymore, trying just looking at stuff. A lot of Facebook, YouTube. That's where I'm at. I mean, that's the only. I just rewiped it. I wiped it out, and that's all the apps I got on there is like my my tweet deck and social media stuff, and then I have that movie app, and then stuff to play. Like I can go play Facebook games if I really want to play something like that.
Facebook games, quote unquote. So, what else? Let's talk a little bit more about Overwatch. I know we got, 5 minutes left? Actually,
Yeah.
Probably start wrapping up.
Mm-hmm.
There's one thing I wanted to mention about Overwatch. People were saying that and we'll leave this for next week. But some people are saying that it's okay that the game doesn't have that much customization in terms of how you play the characters, because the customization comes down to skill. That's your edge, and no gear loadout and no perks, and that's a good thing. But I wonder how long people will be okay with that, and if that will ultimately be one of the weaknesses of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like we're so spoiled now. Like, for me, I love unlockables. I love customizing. I love being able to do something that's different from someone else to keep other people on their toes, right? This is why MOBAs appeal so much to me, because while everybody's going to a website to get their loadout, I'll just be like, I'm going to do something completely different and just see if it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But if it does, then I might catch someone off guard, right? Like on League of Legends, I used to run Black Cleaver on Rammus when there was when Black Cleaver was different, and I had like an attack speed, attack penetration tank build on him that was really crazy. But I melted people, and no one believed it. But I would go like 30-0 on him, or 30-5, something ridiculous, you know. And I'm not that good of a League player, but I figured out a way to break him, and no one was running that. It was the funniest thing. So like something to think about, if that skill debate holds up or not. But Obi, do you have any closing thoughts?
No. I understand why they're doing what they're doing with Overwatch. Giving everybody, the basic stuff. Change their skin, what they're wearing, what their gun looks like, what just whatever. But as far as everybody does, it's basically a skill game. Be a great esport. You guys can check me out anywhere, Obi1x2. Remember Twitter at TSE Obi1. And then of course, yeah. Anyway, I'm done.
That's a good closing thought. We'll definitely come back to that. We'll hopefully get more Overwatch in. And we'll address the whole thing about the skill debate and the single lane debate. That's another interesting one. And you're right. I will say real quick that it's easier to balance a game when there's more uniformity, right? Mm-hmm. But also too much uniformity and just to get repetitive. Like,
because I know a guy. I'm sorry to say it. I know a guy that he's played so much on Tracer. This dude is amazing on when he hits the flashes and when he backs up, when he does everything. Like, he'll sit there and get right in your face, drop a grenade in your lap, and then teleport back, and then you're dead. Like, he's just good. I'm getting to that point where I can actually do that, but it's something. Yeah. It takes time. I mean, this is the game where you actually have to take the time to get the skill to actually play the character you want to play.
And you have to have a lot of different characters in your pocket too. You can't just be a one-trick pony, because different situations calls for different things, Mm-hmm. So it's an interesting dynamic. Again, I'm still sad that Battleborn's kind of just taking a backseat for now, but I think there's still potential with that game too. So we'll see. We'll keep on top of it.
I'm gonna get Battleborn.
Are you okay?
But it's just not right now.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm YogiZilla everywhere. This live, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Steam, etc., etc. Yeah. That's it, Obi. You ready to go?
Yep. Guys, we do want you to remember, real quick, you guys can listen to us and download us anywhere, allgames.com, Google Play Music, iTunes, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. Go check us out, guys. Thank you guys for giving us so much love that you guys do. If you guys want to look at a video, use your brain, YouTube and Twitch. Just type in Geeky Antics and you guys can watch some of the videos. Any other podcasts you guys want to watch, geekyantics.net/schedule. And of course, any of our aggregate feeds that we have, geekyantics.net/podcast. Of course, you guys know all the music that we do is all about TechnoX.com. You guys go check him out. It's Techno with a K, so it's TechnoX.com. Go check him out. He's got thousands of stuff. But this will be one X2 guys over there. YogiZilla, Overwatch. See you guys next week. Peace.
Later, taters.